зоне ответственности тех группировок, которые выигрывающие. Пожалуйста, в настоящее время.
President Vladimir Putin has announced a sweeping overhaul of Russia's military leadership, saying the changes reflect the requirements and lessons learnt from the Ukraine conflict. As part of the reforms, the Kremlin has created the country's first dedicated Unmanned Systems Corps, signaling that drone warfare will play an even greater role in Russia's future military strategy.
As you know, we are continuing to refine the structure of the Ministry of Defense in light of the requirements and lessons learned from the special military operation. As you are aware, a decision was taken very recently to centralize all matters relating to armaments under a single authority, encompassing the functions of both the procurement and supply bodies. This work within the Ministry of Defense is being led by Alexander Semenovich Sanchik in his capacity as Deputy Minister of Defense. Until very recently, he was a commander of one of the operational groups and proved to be a successful commander.
To lead the new Unmanned Systems Corps, Putin appointed Denis Lyamin, describing him as one of Russia's most qualified specialists in the field. Lyamin previously served as Chief of Staff of the Center Group of Forces and has now been tasked with completing the formation of the new branch dedicated exclusively to unmanned warfare.
We consider Denis Igorevich Lyamin to be one of the most qualified specialists in this field. He has, until now, served in the Center Group of Forces as Chief of Staff. Denis Igorevich, this new branch of the armed forces is only just being formed. I would like to express my hope that you, as both the Minister and the Chief of the General Staff believe, being one of the most qualified specialists, as I have already said, will see the formation of this new branch of the armed forces specializing in unmanned systems through to completion, and will lead it in the near future.
The Kremlin's reforms extend beyond drones. Putin has centralized military logistics and weapons supplies under a single command, appointing Colonel General Valery Solodchuk to lead the effort. Calling logistics combat work, Putin said, "Experienced battlefield commanders best understand what soldiers need on the front lines."
Following a proposal by the Minister of Defense, a decision has been taken to centralize all logistical services under a single authority. I would like to draw attention to the fact that, in the current circumstances, this is also combat work, very much combat work. And I have decided to appoint Valery Nikolaevich Solodchuk to this post. Valery Nikolaevich, I deliberately began by mentioning that Alexander Semenovich Sanchik was appointed to the post of Deputy Minister quite recently. Relatively recently, in fact. Like you, he is a combat officer who has proven himself as a commander and has skillfully led troops. He is now engaged in other duties. But I would also like to address you, Valery Nikolaevich. We know each other. We know each other well already. And you are undoubtedly one of the most talented commanders today. It was no accident that I said that managing the logistical services is also combat work.
The reshuffle also affects Russia's frontline command. Andrei Ivanayev has been appointed commander of the Center Group of Forces, replacing Solodchuk, while Pyotr Bolgarev takes over as acting commander of the Eastern Group. Putin expressed confidence that combat operations would continue without disruption, despite the leadership changes. The restructuring comes as drones increasingly dominate the battlefield in Ukraine. Both Moscow and Kyiv are expanding their unmanned warfare capabilities, with Ukraine announcing a long-range drone command last month. By creating a dedicated drone corps while reshaping its military leadership, Russia is adapting its armed forces for the next phase of modern warfare.